Thank you for joining me. Good afternoon and welcome to Camnet TV Midday News. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. The headlines. NAPSA justifies its tender process to cleaners. UPND successfully holds its General Assembly. Details coming through after this commercial. Hello, have you heard about NAPSA? Do you know that you can advertise for as low as 150 kwacha for 30 seconds? Well, NAPSA is here. Advertise on NAPSA between 17 hours and 18 hours. Just tell us about the services that you offer and we'll gladly put you on the market. For more details, you can contact +260 953 995099. +260 962 444 726 or +260 971 177 467. NAPSA, allowing your business to grow. And now the media news in detail. The Opposition United Party for National Development UPND has set its eye on the 2021 general elections after successfully holding its General Assembly. UPND leader Hakainde Hichilema is happy that the party has managed to elect National Management Committee members from all the 10 provinces to steer and run the party for the next 5 years. Mr. Hichilema has also commended the Independent Electoral Commission drawn from the civil society organization and led by Judith Mlenga for conducting the General Assembly. The opposition leader says unity of purpose is paramount both in the party and nation as a whole.
Has just started, says UPND leader Hakainde Hichilema, as the party eyes the 2021 general elections after successfully holding its General Assembly, which commenced on the 14th of February 2021. The intra-party election was spearheaded by civil society organizations led by Judith Mlenga. To the losers, move on and try next time. And congratulations to the winners, as the chairperson laid out the names of the new National Management Committee.
Capacity as chairperson of the Electoral Commission for the United Party for National Development, UPND, and returning officer for this elective General Assembly held on Sunday, 14th February 2021, and after verifying and satisfied with the results availed to me, I hereby declare the said Mr. Hakainde Hichilema
UPND leader Hakainde Hichilema is happy that the party has managed to elect its leaders across the 10 provinces to take the party forward. Mr. Hichilema has also commended the Independent Electoral Commission drawn from the civil society organizations. The opposition leader also called for unity of purpose in the party and across the country.
It has to see a school-going age child not in school. It has to see someone dying of coronavirus when they can be saved because there's no oxygen at the military hospital, at the levy, at UCHS. Oxygen, really? Yet people are driving VXs and riding in Gulfstream jets with purchase price overpriced, plus maintenance cost, $330 million.
Yeah.
I'm not available for that Gulfstream. I'm not available for that plane. That plane must be translated into oxygen plants across the country. That plane must be translated and exchanged with bursaries for the poorest of the poor children in colleges. I said at the beginning, drugs with efficacy, not expired. We must be clear in our minds why we are seeking public office. I'm clear. And I know you should be fair. But, no. I feel ashamed when I travel around this country. In my passport, I present it, say, oh, Zambian, oh, you are from that country where people do things for themselves, not for the people. Let us wash that shame.
Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
The Lusaka Magistrate Court has set 26th of February 2021 as Judgment Day in a matter in which 5 residents of Chawama compound are accused of riotous behavior in relation to the gassing incidences reported in some parts of Lusaka that took place in 2019. This is in a matter in which Fenezio Banda, a general worker of Chawama, Felix Mukuka, a bus driver of John Howard compound, Laston Zulu, a vendor of Chawama, Kennedy Chingewe of Jack compound, Matthew Nchinga, a bus conductor of John Howard, are charged with rioting after proclamation. When the accused appeared before Lusaka Chief Resident Magistrate Lamek Mwale, the court was not ready to deliver judgment. Allegations are that the 5 on the 13th of February 2019 in Lusaka, jointly in whilst acting together with others unknown and being in a riotous assembly, took part in riot and assembly after the expiration of a reasonable time from the making of the proclamation to disperse.
Early last year, the use of chemicals to gas schools and homes in Lusaka and other parts of the country had put citizens on high alert. To ensure their safety, some citizens went to the extreme by beating to death anyone suspected to be involved in gassing. Tuesday morning, 4 people appeared before court for riotous behavior in relation to the gassing incidents reported in Lusaka. The 6 are Kennedy Chingambe, Latson Zulu, Matthews Chinga, Fanizo Banda, Felix Mukuka, and Marlon Mumba. Unfortunately, Mumba was discharged from the case after the court was informed that he passed on. When the case came up for judgment this morning, the court could not deliver as one of the accused persons, Felix Mukuka, was not before court. The court had also noticed that Mukuka had missed 3 court sessions but gave him the benefit of doubt before issuing a bench warrant. It is alleged that the accused on the 13th of February 2020 in Lusaka, jointly and whilst acting together with other persons unknown in a riotous assembly, took part in riots and assembly after the expiration of a reasonable time from the making of the proclamation to disperse. The accused had denied the allegations and are now waiting to hear the court's decision whether they'll be set at liberty or be convicted. Last month, the court acquitted 18 people for the same offense. Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
In other news, the National Pension Scheme Authority, NAPSA, has justified its intention to award a tender for the provision of cleaning, landscaping and pest control services to only 2 companies as opposed to more firms. The Cleaning Association of Zambia President Lawrence Makumbi says the cost of the tender was too much to only give to 2 companies when there are a lot of companies in the industry that could benefit from the tenders. But NAPSA Head of Corporate Affairs Kefas Sinyangwe has told Camnet News in an exclusive interview that most of the companies did not meet the criteria.
The National Pension Scheme Authority, NAPSA, has shed light on its intentions to award a tender worth over 4 million kwacha for the provision of cleaning, landscaping and pest control services to 2 companies. NAPSA intends to award a tender to 2 cleaning companies, namely Maxling Enterprise Limited and Prestige Hygiene Control Limited. Cleaning Association of Zambia President Lawrence Makumbi has told Camnet News that the cost of the tender was too much to give to only 2 companies when there are other companies in the industry that could benefit from the tenders. He says the authority should consider spreading wealth to more cleaning organizations.
Cake from all the NAPSA branches countrywide is that they give it, as they have done in the past 20 years, to more than 8 companies. We are supposed to benefit from NAPSA because we are the people that contribute to this institution. Why are they deciding to give 2 companies only, they are throwing people into destitution. This is not a year when you start acting in such a manner. You are now causing a lot of strife with the people on the ground. President Edgar Lungu has always been talking about sharing the national cake. Now you are throwing people into destitution because the 4 million kwacha is only being given to 2 companies. What is so special about these 2 cleaning companies? We appreciate the fact that they are Zambian cleaning companies. That is not a problem. But national cake must be shared with companies in Solwezi, companies on the Copper Belt, companies in Chipata, in Livingstone, and here in Lusaka. Why give it to 2 companies?
But NAPSA Head of Corporate Affairs, Kefa Sinyangwe, provided clarity on this matter. He says most of the companies did not meet the criteria.
A tender process, obviously, our intention was to award as many companies as possible, and that was stated. But when we are constrained because companies have not met the evaluation criteria, again, as a company, we need to move because we have to do certain things. We need to operate. The institution needs to continue operating. So we conducted this evaluation in a very transparent manner. Of course, we are aware of the appeals, and it's very important to note that what we have issued out is not an award of contract to those 2 stated companies, but an intention to award. That is a very important stage in the evaluation, in the tender process, because what it does is it allows other companies that had taken part in the tender process to make known their concerns if they have any, and so they would write what we call an appeal, and the evaluation committee will look at that appeal against the evaluation criteria, and if the grounds stand, then those issues will be taken on board and corrective action will be taken.
Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
Water Development, Sanitation and Environmental Protection Minister Raphael Nakachinda has with immediate effect dissolved the Western Water and Sanitation Company Board. The Water Development Minister has dissolved the board following a number of irregularities noted by the National Water Supply and Sanitation Council, NWASCO. Mr. Nakachinda says inspection on Western Water and Sanitation Company have revealed a collapse in the governance system and poor performance by management that are resulted in deterioration in service delivery. He says among the findings of the inspection were non-adherence to procurement and store procedures, weak financial controls and compromised internal audit functions. Other include the high board expenses mainly attributed to travel, board interference in management operations and poor adherence to company system and procedures. Mr. Nakachinda has since directed the shareholders to hold an annual general meeting to nominate new members to seat on the board.
Special regulatory supervision is instituted on utility companies that consistently fail to comply with directives issued by NWASCO. Notwithstanding the aforementioned measures, it has been noted that failure by both the board of directors and management to govern has been at the center of the deteriorating performance of the commercial utility company. Due to the foregoing, I hereby dissolve the Western Water and Sanitation Company Board and direct that as shareholders to hold an annual general meeting to nominate new members to sit on the board. Further, I wish to direct NWASCO to expedite their interventions in order to prevent any further deterioration in the performance of the utility company. Let me also take this opportunity to address the stories circulating on social media implicating the board chair and vice chairperson of Western Water and Sanitation Company of corruption, which first came to the attention of the ministry on the 12th of January 2021. I wish to put it on record that upon receipt of the letter, which is circulating, my ministry conducted comprehensive investigations on the allegations. The findings of the investigations have shown that the story circulating is false and the letter is not authentic.
Well, that news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Midday News, but before we go, the headlines once again. NAPSA justifies its tender process to cleaners. UPND successfully holds its General Assembly. Thank you for joining me. I am Precious Mzeya Sakaleji. Remember to always wear your mask, avoid crowded places, and also wash your hands for at least 20 seconds or use alcohol hand-based hand sanitizer. Stay safe and good afternoon.